I am a fan of real people. We're on Jesse Lee Peterson, right? We're going down this rabbit hole of checking out Jesse Lee Peterson. And y'all already know what it is. We're just trying to see how different people attack certain issues. But I witness every single time he has a conversation with someone, he's sitting really close to them, directly across from them, and he says things to them that's not demeaning. It's just true, and it hurts them the way he says it. It's interesting how they handle this energy from him. Most of them are offended. Most of them feel like it's combative, but he's always so calm. He's funny while he's doing it, and they are getting pissed off the entire time. And some of them just walk and leave his daggone show like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I love seeing this type of discourse because it shows that when these people are around other people who won't challenge them, they are the loudest and the proudest of whatever position they take. But when they're sitting in front of him, they're like, wow, I can't believe I'm being questioned by this man. Yes, that's what happens when you do something wrong. Okay, so we're going to check this out. Here's the thing. It says that it says atheist black Democrat is versus a Christian minister. Thank you, Joji. Versus a Christian black minister. My son just now bought me a dragon fruit Starbucks. See? He always look after me. He just now came from the barbershop. That's my guy. All right, so let's go and check this out together and see what we can gain.
Accept me no matter what.
I know, but you had to realize your thinking was wrong, man. You were not thinking straight.
I wasn't thinking straight.
I made the mistake
of trying to help children.
I made the mistake of hiring an atheist. I would never do that again. And so
just because they're an atheist?
No, not just because they're an atheist, but because they have they can't be trusted.
Atheists can't be trusted?
They have no foundation of love and honesty and truth to stand on. And so an atheist would do whatever the atheist feel like doing.
So you're sitting here basically telling me I have no love,
I don't know about you, but the ones
I'm an atheist, sir.
The ones I've dealt with. But my point is, if I'm a Christian and I know that a person admits that he or she believes in Satan, why would I want to work with that person on a daily basis, knowing that?
Why would I want to work with
because
you? Knowing that you believe in a God
right.
that you can't present to anyone.
I would understand that. I wouldn't take it personally. I wouldn't think it's wrong for you to.
Why can't we treat each other as human beings?
But I'll treat you well, but I just wouldn't let you minister to a group of kids who I know are already having problems with Satan. And so I'm going to bring the son of Satan to talk to them. Doesn't make sense. But anyway.
Wow.
That's why you're running, right? Because you want to change that.
He called my man the son of Satan. I swear, man, he's very direct with people. He don't listen. Jesse can care less how intimidating you might look. He can give a damn. I love that. And he will move on with the conversation. What he's saying, though, I understand. Okay?
Yeah.
But you're going to be discriminated against them.
Me discriminating against someone?
You're going to discriminate against the Christian. You
just
said it's discrimination wrong.
That's the thing about atheists. We don't discriminate.
It's discrimination wrong.
Discrimination is wrong.
It is wrong?
In all contexts.
And so,
discrimination is wrong.
But you want to have religion. I read that you want religion out of the public square, right?
Correct.
Is that discrimination?
Discrimination. It depends on. Now, if you put up, if
you're
you're the mayor.
If you want to remove religion from the public square,
right?
Is that discrimination?
No, that's not discrimination.
Why not?
That's part of the founding fathers' proclamation, because we have a separation.
You're not being honest, Mr. Atheist.
And church and state.
See, I told you.
You keep the church and state separate.
So you want to?
So that's not being discriminatory.
Why? Why not?
Okay. Will it be? It would be discriminatory if I was saying we want to keep Allah out of our government.
No.
Now, that would be discriminatory. If I say we want to keep Christ out, that would be, no, we want to keep religion as a whole out of our politics.
But why?
Why? Because everyone does not think the same or have the same beliefs.
And as a result, you want to discriminate.
No.
Right, because they don't have your same
No,
belief.
you're twisting words worse than Donald Trump up here, sir.
No, I'm not. Do you support transgender men and women going into bathrooms and showers and dressing rooms of choice?
Yes, I support them. They should have the right to go into any bathroom that they feel their orientation dictates.
So if a man is walking down the road and he decides, you know what, I just feel like a woman.
But see, that's being disingenuous
And
with the
he
whole
said,
conversation.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah.
it's real. And he said,
Yeah,
oh, I need
you don't
to
just
go.
walk down the road. This is a process.
I know, I understand,
most of
Bob.
these people from a very early age, and it's documented and researched, most of these human beings from a very early age have an identity for their sexual orientation. Now, it may not fit.
You know where that influence comes from.
No, sir, but you're going to let me know.
Your father, the devil.
The father, the devil. Okay, of course. Where else would it come from? The devil.
So this man walking down the road, all of a sudden he just feels like a woman. And now he needs to use the bathroom.
All of a sudden, he feels like a woman.
Right,
Okay.
he needs to use the bathroom. There's a bathroom over there. He goes over and he walks right into the woman's bathroom. Your daughter is sitting there using the bathroom. How would you feel about that?
My daughter's sitting there using the bathroom. She's going to be done in a second.
No, I
She's
said,
not
how
going
would you personally feel about that? This man walking in there, right, looking at your daughter.
Now, see, you guys,
He got to look at her.
This is what religious people do.
No, how would you feel
I would
about
assume
that?
she's sitting in a stall with the door closed.
Not all bathrooms have stalls, but how would you feel about that?
He's standing there looking at her.
Uh-huh.
Why wouldn't he be using the restroom what he came in
But
there
he's
for?
still going to be looking around. He's not going to sit
Oh,
there and
he's
close
gonna
his
be
eyes.
looking around.
The question is, how would you feel about that?
I feel fine. I raised my kids to be very intelligent. Why is it always the religious people that feel they have the moral right and the justification to go in and decide what you should do in your bedroom and what you should do in the bathroom?
So you taught your daughter to be intelligent enough to sit there on that stall while this man is sitting there using it and looking at her.
My
and
children
you
are very
as a father
intelligent.
wouldn't have a problem with that at all.
Wouldn't have a problem with it at all.
How about if your daughter just finished PE in high school? She's in the 10th and 11th grade, and there's some guy in the same class, and it's time to take a shower. This guy said, oh, I feel like a girl. I want to take a shower with the girls. They all go into the girls' bathroom.
Okay.
And the boys and the girls getting naked, getting into the shower together. Would you be okay for your daughter going through that process?
I'd be fine with it.
You know why I'm not surprised? Because Satan is your father.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Hi, Dad.
So there are no limits, except for good, there are no limits as to what Satan will have his children to do.
As human beings, we need to apply common sense, dignity, and respect to all of these potential situations that you're speaking of.
How about the respect of the men and women who are not for that? They don't want a man or a woman walking into their showers.
Well, that's why it's a
into
democracy.
their bathrooms.
This is why we have a
and,
democracy and a
What
Supreme
about
Court.
the respect for those people?
They have rights, of
Should
course.
they be
They have
treated-
rights too.
but
They have
should
the
they be-
right to not concern themselves with what goes on in the privacy of a bathroom or a bedroom.
Should they be respected?
Everybody's rights should be respected.
And so when
but
out
there's
of
certain
nowhere you
things
got-
that
when-
you get out of your Bible.
When out of nowhere the government create.
I can already see it, man. What's about to happen is this man is about to get pissed. He's already been fidgeting, holding in on his jacket and adjusting his jacket and taking drinks of his tea or water, whatever that is. You know what I mean? You can tell he's upset. He's already saying, look, brother, you ain't got no common sense. You don't have the common decency. He's already putting it out there. He don't like the way that Jesse Lee Peterson is is approaching this situation. This dude is upset, very upset. Wow. But at the end of the day, I understand exactly what Jesse Lee Peterson is saying. I see what the gentleman is trying to get across, but I would like for him to speak more on why he takes the stance that he takes, because people are so go along to get along that we have our standards are dissipating. Everything's going away because we want everybody to feel empowered and praised and celebrated, even if it's against God's will. So to speak and say, see, that's what y'all Christians do. Yeah, that's what y'all Christians. Yeah, that is what Christians do. Christians speak for their Father. We speak for God. And if what we're saying is against that, we have to address it. Yes, that's what Christians should, that's what a good Christian would do. You want to talk about the forefathers, but you want to pick and choose. Huh? You want to pick and choose. Separation of state, just like our forefathers. Well, what about everything else? What about being a Christian, just like our forefathers? You can't have it all, man. Like, it's like you just want to pick, okay, I like that part right there. Ooh, I like that part right there. I like that part too. Yeah.
This rule that you can use whatever shower or bathroom you want to, just impose on the folks who disagree with that. Are they respecting those people?
Everyone's rights should be respected.
Are those people being respected who disagree with that?
Yes, they're not being disrespected.
Why is that?
Because what happens in the privacy of a bathroom?
It's not a bathroom is a public place.
A bathroom
if
is a
it's
public
outside
place.
of your home.
So take a camera into a bathroom. See how
well, you know
see how it goes for you.
You know that's already happening with these so-called transgender people, right? Do you believe transgender is a mental illness, or you think Satan?
I believe religion is a mental illness.
So would you have a problem with your wife shower with a man in a? Your wife go to the gym?
Yeah, she sure does.
She works out, right?
Yes.
And let's say there's some guys in there who say they feel like women, even though there's no proof, but they just say they just
feeling feminine today.
Right.
Want to go in
because
and take
they looked over and they saw your wife and she was so fine. She probably take Pilates and all that, you know.
Yeah.
And they said, "Wow, I feel like showering with the women today. I feel like a woman." Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Be absolutely fine with it.
So you're not.
He won't. He just want to win the argument. He won't be fine with it. He won't be fine with it at all. As a matter of fact, when the one gentleman went into was at the gym, and he was inside of the locker rooms, willy-nilly, like branching berries, just dangling every which way. And they reported him while they were there, and they were saying that he had a right to go into whichever one he identified with. And there was a lady yelling and like, "I can't believe that you," like she really was getting in the people who owned the establishment's sugar honey iced tea. She was really pouring on him because she didn't like the fact that that gentleman was inside, that person was inside of that locker room with her daughter and her. It's like, whoa, my daughter, I'm not ready for my daughter to be looking at no man's. That's why we're inside of, we thought we were in a safe space. We're not. Why? Because we have to adhere to people's rights of identity.
Not even there to protect your wife from
Because I know my wife.
From the invaders.
How would they be invaded? They're transgender. We're talking about transgender people.
What is a transgender to you?
To me, it's someone who was born with the anatomy of the opposite sex. And it can happen. The chemical makeup in the brain, the research determined all of this, that they actually identify as the opposite sex.
Black Lives Matter. You heard of Black Lives Matter? I'm rushing a little because of time.
Yes, sir.
It's a radical, agitated black group of people. How do you feel about them?
Well, you know, they call Martin Luther King radical also.
How about Black Lives Matter?
I think it's good to see the youth stand up and be active. Working 10 years at 2 different maximum security prisons, I can tell you that the prisons in California are full of blacks and Latinos.
Right.
African-American males make up only 6% of the state population, but we make up 46% of the prison population.
Why so many in jail, in prison?
Why? Because of our capitalistic society. You have hyper segregation in these urban areas with no jobs, no opportunities, very little hope, and then you expect for them to, not survive. They're doing crimes of survival.
Bro, those are excuses. Those are excuses because most times, well, I'm not going to bore y'all with my story, but I'm from the same areas and was dealing with the same stuff. Days without eating, having to go to my guardian's friend's house, hoping to get a couple of packs of ramen noodles that'll last us for the night and the next day. I mean, we went through a lot of that. It's just that, and we wasn't even raised to not with the fear of not doing anything wrong. We just honestly, she didn't want us to do anything wrong, obviously, but our whole environment said, "Hey, do your thing. If you want to do this, you want to sell drugs, you want to rob people, you want to steal, you want to, commit whatever crimes." Everybody was doing them. Everybody. Then we had a decision to make if we were going to do that or if we were going to go out there and hustle. I decided to hustle another way. I washed the windows. I pumped gas. I took people trash out. I sold candy. I used to sing back in the day, so I would ask different businesses if they have a special event, if I can sing. It was many different things that I decided to do in order to make up for the lack that we had in the same environment. In the exact same environment. Wasn't forced to do anything. Well, kind of was, but I was built a little different. If someone tried to force me to do something I didn't want to do, it was me or them, and rather than picking up a gun and handling it, I did it with my fists. And a lot of these youngers nowadays, they some suckers. Period. And we give them far too many excuses. Far too many excuses, man. So that's what you're sitting there doing. And when you do that, you're giving them an out, and that's not cool. If you worked inside of a penitentiary, then you should know that a lot of these youngins, they did have a choice. But you want to give them a crutch and say, "Yeah, you had a crutch. I know, baby. It's okay. You're getting out. Well, I'll see you in a couple of years." Because they say that to them youngins. And you're building up a culture where you're supposed to be turning them around and enhancing their mentality and letting them know that they can do it when they get out of there. They don't have to come back. They don't have to do this, that, and the other. Do you guys mean it when you say it? Or are y'all saying it at all when you're trying to turn their lives around once they come to your prisons? Because if you are actually saying that, then you will be right. They can turn their lives around. They don't have to commit those crimes. They don't have to do those things. But a lot of people are deciding to do it because we like to lift it up. We like to make it look sexy. Like, listen to the music. We make it look sexy. We rap about it. We sing about it. We make it look fly. Like, if you do the worst of the worst, then you get this right here, huh? You get to look like I look. You get to drive how I drive. You get to live how I live. You get to have that same type of swag where you can not give a about anything and just do you. And still be able to, and that's not real life. Don't get all the face tattoos and neck tattoos until you have solidified yourself in the world. Like, you got something where that's going to bring you in some money, and that right there is not going to go against it, because these companies, they're going to have rules. They're going to have guidelines. So you can't tell me that you're out here, "I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a job, and won't nobody hire me." But you got tattoos all over your daggone face. Who told you to put them tattoos all over your face? Exactly. We make these decisions, man. Yes, it's survival of the fittest. And regardless of how things are set up for people to fail, is ways for us to succeed. And guess what? A lot of people are taking the easy way out. And we are being some punks by allowing them to do it. Not only allowing them to do it, but giving them excuses to continue to do it.
To,
So
not survive.
so
They're
you're
doing
saying-
crimes of survival.
You're saying that they're killing each other like this. In Chicago, it's gone up 80% since the police backed down. You're saying they're doing it because of capitalism?
No, I'm saying they're doing it out of a lack of opportunity. If those same young men had education and jobs,
Right.
they wouldn't have to look at the gang or the drug route.
They have education. That's the schools. School system might not be what they want, but guess what? The schools are there to teach. That's one. and they have jobs. The jobs are not provided in the way that they want them to be provided, but they are at a point where they can get out there and find the jobs that they want, or find a job that, regardless if they want it or not, because that's not real life. You're supposed to work a job that you are uncomfortable working for a paycheck until you get to a point where you can do the type of job that you want to do. Period, man. I'm tired of all these damn excuses that we are making for people, bro.
They wouldn't have to. That wouldn't be their only option.
Let me
ask you something. You guys always talk about blacks killing blacks. What do we kill blacks with? With guns, right?
Yeah, that's
we
what
kill a lot of each other with guns.
Right.
Any of you guys ever ask the question, where do we get our guns at? How many African American gun manufacturers do we have in the United States? Zero.
Bruh, that is some BS, man. I hate this argument. I absolutely hate this argument. Where do we get our guns? We wouldn't be able to shoot nobody if we didn't have guns, right? Well, that's true. But guess what? That gun that they are out there buying or stealing, they are purchasing it to commit a crime. They're not purchasing it to protect their families or just keep in the house or anything like that. They're not registering from foreign property or anything like that. They are purchasing them to commit a crime. That's the part that I don't understand. Like, come on, do you teach your kids that? Or do you say, see, y'all, I don't have to teach y'all this because y'all got a father in the house. And I got y'all. Nah, they still selling guns out there. Your kids go out there and they want to buy a gun. What you going to say to them? They want to go get a gun. What you going to say to them, bro?
But what does that have to do with anything?
Where are we getting our guns at?
Let me say this to you. One thing you don't know is that I was raised on a plantation.
You were raised on a plantation?
Yeah, down in Alabama, under the Jim Crow laws.
Mm-hmm.
And we were restricted from living in certain areas. Mm-hmm. And blacks were poor. We never stole, we never killed each other. It wasn't happening then. We respected each other. We worked hard and did what we had to do. We went to all black school, the killing, the robbing, and having all these babies out of wedlock. There were some kids born out of wedlock, but it wasn't like it is today. And blacks had less opportunity then than they do now. So how do you explain that it wasn't happening then, but it is today?
I'm gonna explain it like this. You're saying blacks do all of this. Did you know that Latinos have children out of wedlock? Did you know that whites have children out of wedlock?
Bruh, we're talking about making our own bed and being accountable. He's talking to a black man who represents atheist black Democrats. You speak to the youth, right? You are going around teaching people. He's talking about the communities that you represent. Let's talk about that. That's what we want to talk about. Now we want to point the camera to another community now because we don't want to accept responsibility.
You're pigeonholing a whole ethnic group
that's wrong. Not all, but most.
Yes, you are.
Not all, but most.
You have any stats?
But we brought up.
Can you Google some of this?
That's what he says. Y'all been saying that in the comment section. He'll say not all, but most. Not all, but most. Okay, all right. So this is my first time really paying attention to him saying that.
Yes, you are.
Not all, but most.
You have any stats?
But we brought up.
Can you Google some of this that you're talking about?
We brought up black people about Black Lives Matter when we talked about Black Lives Matter. I gotta ask, when Black Lives Matter were chanting, what do we want? Pigs in the blanket. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. Marching in New York. Did you agree with that?
No, I didn't agree with that. But
that
was not
wrong?
Black Lives Matter.
Yes, it was. Was it wrong?
They were not active members of Black Lives Matter. Those are people that joined the parade.
No, it wasn't. It's Black Lives Matter, buddy.
No.
Did you agree with that?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I'm a former peace officer myself.
You better say that.
I'm a former peace officer myself.
It was just discovered that one of the fundraisers of Black Lives Matter and a member of the organization was, raising all this money for the organization. Correct. While at the same time pimping out a 17-year-old black girl.
Okay. You're looking at me like that's my fault.
What do you think about that?
Well, that's That's horrible.
Is it evil?
Who would do that?
A Black Lives Matter guy.
Okay. But what does that have to do with Steve Hill?
But you like Black Lives Matter. You think that this group is a good group, and it's not.
Well, what do you think about the Ku Klux Klan? The Ku Klux Klan is a Christian organization.
The
What do you think about them?
same thing as Black Lives Matter. They're no different. Do you believe in the Constitution?
Yes, I do. Yes, sir.
Well, the founding father, John Adams, said, our Constitution was made only for moral and religious people, and that it won't work to govern any other type of people. Our founding fathers believe the same.
Can I pull up a couple of quotes from Thomas Jefferson now?
What do you have to say?
Because he says something contradictory
What do you have to
to
say
that.
about that?
I say our founding fathers, most of them wanted a secular government, and that's exactly what we have.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, I'd love to come back.
Oh, we'll have you back.
Oh, good. Beautiful.
Thank you, man.
All right, so that was a good back and forth. I think we need to do a better job in being responsible for what happens in our backyard, being accountable, holding people accountable, and then moving forward. If we're not going to hold anyone accountable, nothing positive will happen, in my opinion. But I want to hear what y'all guys say about this in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. And once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all.